Q? 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 Oh my god! It's gonna be awkward, guys. Get ready. Hello guys, welcome back. Sorry, losing my voice here today, so I apologize. It's not very romantic at all, but you have come here because you want to hear some romantic and awkward conversations today on your favorite podcast, Hopelessly Animanic, with the one and only Q.
Kiki, are you purring?
No, that was my cat. My cat was here.
Because I'm listening for once. Listeners, I'm actually listening for once, and
I know. Can you like we should probably put this in the books.
No. This is not gonna happen regularly. This is a one-time occurrence. Because I'm just like, wait a minute. I have I have my tablet in my hand. And I'm like, I could be reading something right now, and then I'm like distracted by some weird purring. So I'm like, why is Kiki purring?
No, just my cat. No big deal.
Oh, okay, so we are on, what episode are we on? I think it's episode 8.
I think so, yeah.
This is episode 8. We were supposed to have done on episode 8, which we actually did record one, but the audio was lost, so this is actually the real episode 8. So, episode 8 of the Hopelessly Animanic podcast. Welcome to the podcast. We are not our usual selves, which probably may change before this podcast is over, because you know how things happen in this podcast. We may start differently, and the awkward, random, romantic stuff may pop out, and then who knows, we may just devolve back into our usual wacky, over-the-top, zany selves.
Hopefully the podcast will cheer us up, because both of us aren't having the best of days. Q with some of his own stuff, me because I'm losing my voice, and yeah, so...
Yeah, we're not having the best of these, but we're still here, we're still trying, and we're still making sure we put out a podcast for you guys, because you're important to us, and that's nice. That's really, really nice that you guys actually... you guys should still listen, because it's nice. I mean, we look forward to you guys listening every week, and we look forward to recording every week. Alright, so, wow. Kiki, how have you been since last we spoke?
It's been quite a weekend. I'll leave it at that. I won't go into details, but it's been quite the weekend, to put it nicely.
It's been quite the weekend.
How have you been,
yeah.
How have you been, Q?
Me, it's been pretty. I had a really, really bad week last week, so I was not in a good mood. The short note of it is that I had a really bad experience with a public service, a public place where you go to get public service. It's our immigration office here in Trinidad, and it had me really pissed. If you listeners want to know the full story of it, I'm not going to tell it here. I will say that it is available on the other podcast that I do, which is Button Smashers Podcast. So I told the whole story there, where I took up like an entire 15 minutes to explain everything and why I was pissed. And I don't want to do the same here, because it will take a long time. So I'm just going to say, go listen to that podcast. You'll understand why. But yeah, I had a really pissed off week, and I thought I'd be having a good week this week, but so far it's not it's not been going so well.
Yeah, it's been rough for both of us. So
Yeah. It's not been going so well,
Nope.
but it's okay. I mean, sometimes you have good days, sometimes you have bad days, sometimes you have good weeks, sometimes you have bad weeks, and it never stays bad forever. At least the bad things tend to go away from time. They tend to move out, and you get good things, and so I'm sure the good things are gonna float their way in. I'm sure nice things will happen. Maybe something nice will happen. I don't know what to say. Maybe something romantic.
Yeah, hopefully some romantic talk will turn it around a little bit, right?
So this week we watched an anime. It wasn't an anime. I was about to say a manga, but it's an anime. and so we watched an anime. And what was the anime called, Kiki?
This was called Princess Tutu.
Okay, so now I made a mistake when we documented this anime. I actually named it Princess Lulu, and and when it came the day to watch it, when I was ready to watch it, I started searching. I was like, Princess Lulu, and a Korean drama came up, and I was like, you've got to be kidding me! Our listeners recommended a Korean drama. They're insane. I don't like Korean dramas, and so I was like, oh God, we're going to have to watch this, aren't we? So I was pretty much about to message you at that point in time, which I didn't because I figured it out after. I was about to message you, like, Kiki, we're going to have to watch a Korean drama. Can we veto this and skip to the next one? And so when that happened, I kept searching. And then I tried, I went back to check the message that the listener sent, and I saw that I made a mistake, and it was actually Princess Tutu. And so I was like, it was not an error from the listener, it was from me. And so I went and I made the changes. I actually changed it in our document file that we share, and I made it Princess Tutu, and I went and I searched for it. And I was like, there's an anime by the name. So I started it up, and I settled in for the long ride. It's only about 26 episodes, I think. So I started for the long haul. It was late at night, so I think it was, I think it was Friday night. I was going to watch during the week, but because things that happened during the week, I got to watch on Friday. And so I watched it on Friday night, and I was just like, I sat down, I got comfortable. I had popcorn, I think. I think I had popcorn. Or cereal, one of the two. It was popcorn or cereal. And I got very comfortable and I started watching. And I got through the first episode. And I was like, there's some things about here that I'm like, let's just see, for example, the main character of this anime, her name is Duck. And did you notice something familiar about Duck, Kiki?
Yeah, she was the same voice actress from School Rumble.
Yes, she was.
That horrific, high-pitched, terrible voice. She came back again.
Yep, that person is actually Lucy Christian, and she voiced Tenma Scamato from School Rumble. And when I heard it, I was like, holy shit, this is Tenma.
Yeah.
And I was like,
oh yeah.
I was like, we're gonna have to listen to this for the entirety of this. I mean, I'm not I don't hate Tenma or anything. School Rumble is one of my favorite anime. It's probably my favorite of all time. But
Ouran High School is your favorite?
Ouran High School is my favorite too. I don't know. It's really hard to choose. Sometimes you have one favorite. Sometimes you have two. I don't know. The thing is that sometimes I have to refer to my list for these things because I have lists that I keep with where I number them. And yeah, School Rumble is number one. Ouran is second on the list. I have an account. Some of you listeners may know of this. There's a website called myanimalist.net. It's an anime listing website where you can list your favorite anime, and you can rate them and so forth, and you can add friends on it and so forth. You can talk about anime. And it's a really nice website. It's good for if you're dating someone that's into anime and you want to know if their anime taste is the same as yours. It allows you to see if you like similar anime because you can rate it and then you can see how compatible you are with them. Or even if it's just between friends, you can see how compatible your anime taste is with your friends. So it's a nice website, and yeah, School Rumble is currently ranked number 1 on my list, and Orange High School Host Club is second, followed by A Lull in the Sea.
Oh yeah, I really like Lull in the Sea. That was a really good one. I'm glad that whoever recommended that to us did, because
Yeah, it was amazing.
yeah, that was a great one.
And then Full Metal Alchemist, and last is one that Kiki likes a lot and would be surprised that it's on my list. Can you guess what it is?
Peach Girl?
Oh god, no. That's not on my list. Oh wow, that's a bad guess, Kiki. Come on, you can do better than that.
I'm still going with Peach Girl.
It's something you talk about every week, but we never read. It's not a subject on the podcast, but you talk about it every week.
Inuyasha?
You don't talk about Inuyasha every week.
Yes, I do. I've been excited about it for the past 3 weeks.
You're excited about us watching it, but you know, it's not what you talk about every week. It's like there's one particular anime that you pick every week to talk about.
Dragon Ball Z.
Correct.
Yeah, yeah.
That's
Sorry,
my
I'm a little out of it
favorite.
today. I'm really out of it today.
That's my number 5. So that's my fifth most favorite anime from myanimalist.net. And I like it. It's one of my favorites. I've watched most of it, and I've been watching the new Dragon Ball series that comes out every week now. I've been watching that, and it's been going really good. I like the new art style. That's the new one with the new the new villain. Well, he's not really a villain. He's a kind of anti-hero, Bill. I think he's called...
I haven't watched the new ones yet, so you can't spill much for me.
Okay, I won't tell you about it. You'll see it though. You'll definitely see it. It's available on our favorite anime website, because that's why I watch it. So definitely be able to get it there. Alright, so let's get it back on topic. Let's get back to Princess Tutu. Princess Tutu. Now, of course, don't sigh at me. What's wrong with you? I like this one.
No, I'm not sighing. I'm just waiting so that way we can talk about it. That's all.
Okay, so the main character of this anime is a duck, an actual duck. She is a duck, a yellow, cute, adorable duck that I really, really like. I actually want a small duck to just keep there. And I guess if you want to say the second most important character in this anime is Fakir, or how do you say his name? Fakir or Fakir or...
Wait, what did you say? Who's the what?
The second most important character in anime is Fakir or Fakir, or how do you say?
Oh, it would be, what's his face? The one she's like trying to restore his heart.
Mewtwo, if you watch it to the end, he's not the second most important character.
I did. Well, okay. I watched most of it.
Mewtwo is not. He seems like it when you're watching the series, but once you get through all of it, you start to realize that Fakir, I think that's how his name's pronounced. Fakir is the second most important character in the anime. He is. He's really important, and he has his reasons why he is the second most important character in it. And Fakir is number 2. Then you have Ryu, and Mewtwo is actually last on my list of how important his character is to the story that the anime tries to tell. And this anime is it's a fairy tale story. It's a fairy tale that came to life. So it's about this clumsy, sweet but gentle duck, which is our main character, Duck, which is what they call her, who seems to like an unlikely protagonist. She likes this. Sorry, who seems like an unlikely protagonist. Sorry. Oh god, I'm reading it off the website, by the way, so excuse me if I'm making mistakes. I don't really like normally I'd read something before I read it a second time, so I know what it is. I'm just reading this off immediately. So in reality, Duck is just as magical as the actual cats and crocodiles that inhabit her tongue. So the thing is that this tongue is filled with a lot of creatures and stuff like that. Like there are people in it, but then there are other creatures and stuff that are there. Like it's all about ballet. By the way, it's all about dance and all that kind of stuff. And their ballet teacher in their school that they go to is a cat. he's a weird Mr. Cat, and he always tells the girls when they do something wrong. He's like, "I'll force you to marry me." He's like, he's a really weird character.
He's funny. I liked him actually. I liked him a lot.
I liked how when he met like different girls that actually liked him that were other animals, and he'll take them out on dates and tell them why he couldn't date them.
I know, right?
He's such a weirdo. Oh my god. But yes, Duck is she's main protagonist, and she's voiced by the same person who's voiced Tenma Scabito. This is for the English dub, by the way. We didn't watch the Japanese dub. And the English dub is not bad. This is an older anime. It was released back in 2002.
Yeah.
And so the dub isn't, it's not like this new anime that you see best, voice acting and everything like that. But it's good enough. It's not bad. The other character, Mewtwo, that, Duck likes, he sounds a lot, I don't know if you got the same thing like I did, but he sounds a lot like that other character from School Rumble.
I know, I actually looked up the voice actor to see if they were the same, but they were not.
Yeah, I did the same thing. I was like, is this? Did they just grab the same two characters from School Rumble and just throw them into this new anime? Right? Into this other anime? But it wasn't. It's not the same guy who plays, what's the character in School Rumble that sounds like him? Karasuma. That's
yeah, that weirdo.
He sounds like Karasuma, and he isn't. He's just emotionless. That's the thing. He has no emotions. His emotions have been taken away from him because he basically destroyed his heart to defeat this Raven that he was fighting. And he's a storybook character that came to life. Basically, the whole story is about this writer who wrote stories. He's a storybook writer, and he died before he could finish his last story. And the story was about this prince fighting a raven, and the prince was supposed to defeat the raven, but because he died before he completed it, it never happened, and so the raven escaped the book. And the prince, he shattered his heart to trap the raven, basically. But by doing that, he lost all emotion and so forth. And then there's this duck who really loves the prince, who really, really likes him. And she wants to do anything she can do to help the prince. And that's how the story starts off, with Duck and Mewtwo and all that kind of stuff. And I have to say, first things first, how far did you get, Kiki? Because, you haven't finished it, I did. But how far did you get in it?
I watched most of it. The problem is, I kept falling asleep while I was watching it, and I just was too lazy to, go back and rewatch it. So, I honestly don't even know.
Whoa.
Listen, I'm not even gonna BS, it was really hard for me. And see, here's the difference between you and me. You will push through an anime and watch all of it. I don't. If I don't like it, I really do try, but I usually lose interest and will in the case of this one, I had the anime open and watching it, and then I'm on my phone watching YouTube at the same time, so I just lose interest. And this one, and here's the problem. This is the reason why Chibi Vampire, you struggled with Chibi Vampire because of the voice acting. Well,
but I completed it though.
I know, but that's kind of how I was with this one, because as me being a writer, I thought the concept was really cool. Oh, it's the writer, and he's the puppeteer, and these are just little minions and all this cool stuff. But the dancing, I was like, alright, dancing, that's how they're winning this right now. And then just how crazy she was, I'm just so emotional, I guess. I can't really describe it, but
you can get into it.
There was some really cool stuff going on. I really like the whole storybook aspect of it, because I am a writer too, so I was like, oh, that's such a cool idea. And the ghost of the writer is actually the villain in the story, and that was really cool. But the whole dancing thing really lost me.
Okay, I can understand that. For me, I didn't really, the dancing didn't resonate with me either. But I guess the one thing I can say about, for me personally, I also get bored when watching anime, and I did get a bit bored when watching this particular one as well. And I actually did have my phone as well, which this is a trait of mine that a lot of my friends know that I do. It's like most of the time you see me, if we're hanging out or something like that, I'm more likely than not on my phone. Like, I'd go to the theaters, pay $50 to see a movie, which is the cost of a movie here in Trinidad. So I'd pay about $50 for a movie. And this is just TT dollars, this is not US, just converted at 6 to 1. And I would still be on my phone. I'd be in the movie theater, but I'd be on my phone. The thing, though, with this is that I can somehow split my attention between two things. So when something important happens, I'm paying attention. And so, like, when I was watching, because of most of the time if I'm watching anime and I don't like it, I just stop. I'll just say, okay, guess what? I cannot go on with this. I'll try. Same for manga as well for me. I'll really, really try. I'll give it a good old college try. And if it doesn't pick up after a certain amount, then I just say, here's what, it doesn't make sense. I'm out of here. I can't take this anymore. And the thing with this one is that because I was doing it for the podcast, I stuck with it. You know, and I guess that's the thing with a lot of the anime that we will be covering on the podcast. I know there are probably going to be a lot that I'm not going to like. Mm-hmm. And I'm still, the thing with me though is I'll still stick it out because of the fact that I don't want to like not know what it's about and then get onto the podcast to talk about it, because then if I tell the listeners like, hey, this anime really sucked and you shouldn't check it out, then I feel like I'm cheating them out of, you know, the entirety of it. Like, I can tell them the beginning sucks and it gets better, but I can't say like, oh, the entirety of it sucks, because as you know, with a story, it's not about just the beginning, the middle, but it's all a sort of end.
Yeah.
Like it's how it all wraps together as an entirety. And there are a lot of stories that they start a certain way that you don't like it, or they start a way that you expect it would start, and then it totally flips it everything on the head at the end of it, which is what this one did for me. I really, really, at the end of it, as it came down to the last few episodes, I put down my phone. Like, I literally did put on my phone. Like, at the beginning, I had my phone in my hand. I wasn't paying attention. I was checking to see transfer news on the latest football clubs because I want to see which players are going to what club. And so I was doing that. And then when it flipped on its head, I was like, whoa, I want to know what's going on. And that kind of goes back to why I said Fakir is one of the most important characters, because when he becomes a major part of the story, that's when I got interested. I didn't like Mewtwo. I can be honest. I didn't like him from beginning to end. He's not a character that I resonated with. He's not a character that I cared about, and so I didn't really care for him. I liked Duck. I really did like Duck. I thought she was adorable and cute. I just wanted to hug her. And it's when he becomes a part of the story and he has to interact with Duck, that's when the story picked up for me. And that's when I actually put my phone down and I sat up in bed and was watching episode after episode back to back, trying to figure out, well, how is this going to end? Mm-hmm. You know, because it is a romantic story. And I don't know what you think, but how do you think the romance ends?
Well, like I told you before we started, I didn't get to watch the ending because I fell asleep last night watching it. So I was going in to rewatch it, and I made it to episode 23. And so see, I made it far. I just didn't get to finish it. You know.
How do you think it ended, though? You mean you've made it to at 23, so it means you've seen a substantial amount of it, or you've at least heard a substantial amount.
Based off of what I've seen, it seems like she's gonna end up with Fakir.
And that's the thing that it looks like, right? Because the fact that Fakir and her have, like, he knows her secret, whereas Mewtwo doesn't. And she knows him. Like, Fakir at the beginning is a total asshole. Like, that's the impression I got from him. I'm like, this guy's an asshole. He's slapping this other guy around who doesn't have a heart, and he's treating him bad, and I'm like, ugh. Hate this guy. Like, I really did hate him at the beginning.
Yeah, he was so mean. He was a bully.
Yeah, he came off as a real bully. He did come off as that kind of character. But then as the story progressed, then you got to see more of him, you know, and you got to see him through Doc's eyes. That's when he kind of got the whole, he's not as bad as he seems. Because Doc has the same impression of him that we had at the beginning. He's a bully. And when she got turned back into a duck and he couldn't he didn't know that it was her. Like, he had just finished, shouting at her and telling her he'd kill her if she gets any closer to Mewtwo. And then a few moments later, he runs into her as a duck, and he's like, oh, and he's so gentle and nice, and he hugs her and talks to her, and I'm like, oh my god, this is so adorable. He has an animal sort of fetish. It's weird.
What?
I'm kidding. He doesn't have a fetish. He's just really nice to animals, and I guess the thing is that he doesn't trust anyone around Mewtwo. Like, he really wants to protect him because he's his knight. But the thing is that when he's around Duck, and when he's around Duck when she's in her duck form, he drops his guard and he shows his true colors, and he's a gentle, nice, kind, loving person, and that's what I got from him. I got Fakir was this really gentle, nice, loving character, and I liked that. I liked how he was so gentle with her, how he treated her nicely. And there was that scene, I don't know if you saw this one or if you were distracted at that point in time, like watching some on YouTube, but there was one scene where he was talking to her by a lake, and he picked her up and he held her in his arms, and she was a little duck.
Yeah, I saw that one. Yeah, that's when she was he had the pendant, right?
Yes, he had the pendant, and she was trying to pull it from him. That was such a, oh my god, that was like a really touching moment for me. Like, I watched it and I was just like, oh.
Yeah, it was really cute. And I will say, she was so cute when she was a duck. I just loved it.
She's just an adorable duck. The long kind of, hair, kind of feathers sticking out there, and she's yellow, and she had these big, beautiful eyes.
Yeah, she's so cute, little duck. And I hated it made me so sad when she was always like, I'm just a duck. I'm like, but being a duck is adorable.
Yes! That also made me like, kind of like, when she said I'm just a duck, it was just, and I think that's the reason why they picked the voice actor that did it, because she does that voice really well when she does it, like, I'm just a duck, when she's trying to be this super ultra cutesy adorable character. I guess she gets it really good. I mean, for longevity, like the entirety of it, it does get hard to listen to sometimes, but through those scenes where she does have to be super adorable, it works. It just really works when she's like, I'm just a duck, and you just kind of like, oh,
but you're so cute.
You're so adorable.
You might hear purring again.
I am hearing purring again. It's amazing. The first time when we podcast together, you did mention that there was purring in the background. I didn't hear it. For some reason, I'm hearing it now. I guess Tootsie is like, she just really wants to be on the podcast now. She's like,
yep, she's here, and she is in full force.
She's like, oh, you didn't hear me the first time? I'm gonna make more noise for you.
Yep, there she is.
Oh my god, Tootsie's adorable.
Alright, Tootsie, I'm sorry. It's too hot for this. Ugh.
What, is she snuggling up next to you?
No, she's just sitting on top of me, staring at me.
And she's making it warm?
Yes.
Oh, wow. Okay, so let's see. We have Duck, we have Fakir, we have Rue. Rue is, do you know Rue's, did you get to find out who Rue really is by the end of it?
I don't remember. I know she was like a raven princess or whatever, but I don't remember her origin or anything.
Okay, now Rue also has a sad origin, and I think this is what really caught my attention, why I stuck it out to the end too, as well, is that a lot of the characters in this have a very sad origin story. Duck being just a duck and having a crush on a prince who's human. And, knowing that, for example, she's Princess Tutu and her character is destined, the moment she tells the one she loves that she loves him, to just disappear into just light, basically. Knowing that's her story, she had a sad story. Fakir being one that he's the descendant of the actual writer who wrote the main story, for the writer who wrote the story that they're living out, basically. He's actually the descendant of him, a direct descendant, and so he has the same ability to write stuff and bring it to life. And apparently he wrote a story and his family died after. And so he sort of had this tragic story at the beginning where he's lost his family because of his writing, and he doesn't want to write anymore. And then you have Mewtwo, who is a prince who's lost his heart trying to stop a raven, this evil raven, and he just has no emotions and can't feel. And then you have Rue, who you think is a raven princess, but is not actually. Rue's actually a little girl who was stolen away from her family while she was small by the raven and fed raven blood since she was a child. And that's what made her that's what gave her the power to become a raven princess, really. She's just a normal girl who is a normal human girl who was kidnapped by the raven at birth. And that's the sad story, the sad story for Ruse, that when she finds out, she's like, oh my god, because as the story goes on, she's kind of like, she calls the raven father, and she cares for him, and she does everything for him and all this kind of stuff. And then when she finds out, she's like, it just breaks her as a character. It just makes you empathize with her, and I guess that's what happens for a lot of the characters in this, is that you empathize with them, because of the fact that they're also, they all have a tragic origin story, and the end of it is not too, it's a nice ending, but it's still tragic to a certain extent. And I hold that, just the fact of how it ended, solely to the fact why I actually liked it to the end. And I would have to say, like, for me personally, it's not the best anime out there. I won't tell anyone to, like, oh, go out and see it. It's like the best romance you can ever see. But I would say it's okay. It's not bad. It's not the best, but it's okay. It's just right there, where if you have something that you want to watch and you want some romance, it can do that for you. And it's a story that you may not see the ending coming, because I didn't see the ending coming. And I like that. I like when I watch a story and I don't see the ending coming. But yeah, that's what it is about. So Kiki, how about chiming in and, giving the listeners and myself, a bit of what you thought of it, from at least for what you've seen.
Oh, sorry. Well, like I said, I really like the concept behind it, that this is kind of, the ghost of a writer, and, his story is unfinished, and, the ending, and there's, like, stories within this story. So, like, because, like, one moment that really caught my interest was when Fakir was, like, reading up on the legend, and he finds out that, like, he dies protecting the prince. It was like, oh my goodness, it's like Inception. There's a story within this story, and there's another story about that story, and I'm like, oh my god, like, this is crazy. And so I really like the concept of it. I just think that there were some things about it that kind of were too over the top. Like, one word that you said was like a fairy tale come to life. And, like, I just wanted to be like, well, of course. And I just think a lot of it was just dramatized to the point where I'm just like, I know, I get it. Like, oh, so romantic with the dancing and when Miyoto went evil, and he's like the wedding, and like there's just like it's ridiculous, and there was just a lot of over the topness that at points I was like, you look away for like a minute because Tootsie's jumping across the room, and then I look back and I'm like completely lost, and I'm like. As far as like characters and everything, my favorite character was definitely the cat, the cat teacher.
Oh, okay.
He was just so funny, and he just made me so happy, because I'm like, oh, I'll marry you, because
you would?
He's a cat. I wouldn't want to marry a cat. I am the crazy cat lady. Let's not forget.
Oh my god! Wow. Kiki, you surprised me there. I mean,
but he's so adorable.
I didn't see that one coming.
He's so adorable.
He's a man cat.
But he's freaking adorable.
He's like a grown man who's a cat. He's. I'm sorry, I'm a cat person too. Like, between dogs and cats, I've never had a dog before, ever. Never had a puppy. I don't really like like I have, like, my family members have dogs, and I've played with them a bit.
Mm.
But I've never had a dog. I've had a cat before. I've had a kitten, actually. His name was Chad, by the way. He was awesome. And he peed on me when I first got him. I picked him up and he peed on me, and I was like, oh my god. I used to feed him beef chunks and milk. You know, because my dad that was a point in time where my mom wasn't in the country, and it was just dad and my sisters and I. And dad would make beef, he'd make sweet and sour beef first. And we don't like our dad's cooking, so when dad made beef and stuff like that, it would just sit there in the fridge. And then around that same point was when Chad was a homeless cat that came around, and I just decided I'm going to adopt him. And when I took him in, I was like, well, this food's going to go to waste, and Chad can eat it. So I just started feeding him beef chunks and milk, and he liked it. He liked the beef chunks and the milk. And so, yeah, I did get a bit scared at the third day when he didn't want to eat. And I was like, oh my god, Chad, you don't want to eat? Oh my god, did I poison him or something? But then he ate after, so it was cool. But yeah, I am a cat person, but I'm sorry, that's a man cat. That's a grown, man cat.
He was so cute. Like, I just wanted to pinch his cheeks. Okay, maybe I wouldn't have married him because, like, the whole kid thing and, like, cross species just doesn't work. So maybe like that. But like, he was just adorable and he made me really happy.
Cat girls are cute. So if you guys do have cat babies, they'd be half cat, half human, and they're cute. You'll see them in anime. Cat girls with the cat ears.
Oh yeah, like the chubbits.
Yeah, they're cute.
Yeah, those are always cute.
Oh yeah, that's beautiful. That's just, so that's your favorite character. Your favorite character is he's the teacher?
Yeah.
Mr. Cat.
Like, other than him being a cat, he was very entertaining, and he just made me just laugh a lot. And while I was confused as to, like, wait, so are we in the story or the story of the story? Like, there was one thing that I could always, like, look to be consistent, and that was him.
Yeah, he was the consistent wackadoodle. Even when he turned into a crow at the end, he still managed to be a cat crow. Like, he was a crow that was a cat, and he still had the stripes that he had as a cat. You know, he just had a crow beak, I guess. But yeah, you know, I guess for me, he's not one of my favorite characters. I actually didn't like him that much because I didn't like how he was trying to marry all the girls. And
he was supposed to be funny.
He was funny. I did find him funny. I didn't like him because he was just. I found he was so superficial. You know, like all the girls that did like him. Granted, I would not marry any of them because they were all creepy, weird animals. But the ones that did like him, he was so superficial about how he just. The reasons he didn't want to date them, you know, it was so different and all this kind of stuff, without even getting to know them, you know, like the anteater girl and the hippo girl and all that kind of stuff. And I guess it's kind of a parody on the whole thing of how people judge other people and their physical appearance. Mm-hmm. You know, and he was only after the young girls, so he's kind of like a pedophile, really. You know, if you think about it, he's kind of a pedophile. He only wanted the young girls from his school. You know, and he didn't want any of the girls that were not, you know, physical specimens, you know, that didn't look like the ballerina types. And I didn't like that. I found he was too much of a superficial cat, and so that, to me, that's why I didn't like him. And to me, I like people based on personality more than anything else, and his personality I didn't get. I just didn't feel for his personality. So even though he was a cat, he didn't have a nice personality, and so I didn't like him. About my favorite character, though, it would have to be Fakir.
Really?
Yeah, because he had so much hidden depth. Like, the growth of that character throughout the series, it was just exponential. You meet him at the beginning and they're like, Fakir is a total bastard, I hate him. And I felt it. And the thing is that I really like when I watch something, and it surprises me because I've watched so much anime now and so much movies and so much. I've just been exposed to so much media that things don't really surprise me anymore. You know, like when you've watched so much of something that it just doesn't surprise you, and you just want that surprise, you want that original feeling. It's like, I don't want to make this you know, metaphor, this similarity, but I feel like it's the closest one that I can make right now, and it's like doing drugs, I guess. And
Drugs.
yeah, I've never done drugs before. The closest I've come to drugs is actually alcohol. And the thing is that your first high is the thing with alcohol. You always get high, dude.
No,
Well, I do.
you get drunk.
You're drunk. You always get drunk. But the thing is that I've heard from friends who like would smoke marijuana and stuff like that, and they always say like the first time you smoke, it's the best. Like you get the best high, and then after that, you always keep trying to get that high again. And I've never partaken in such things because I like my lungs, and other than that, I'm just not a fan of smoking. You know, I don't find it to be attractive on other people. So on females or female that smokes, I don't find to be attractive. And as a guy, it's not something that I see myself doing because I see it as a waste of money. It doesn't fill my stomach. It doesn't do anything for me. So I'll just not spend my money on it. It's kind of like fireworks. I don't buy fireworks because I think it's a waste of money. And so with that, you know, I see it like that. It's like when I've watched so much shows that the first romantic comedy that I watched was just the first one that I watched that was good. I was like, oh my god, it was so good, I loved it. And then I'm trying to get something that meets that on the same level, on a similar level that can get me to feel so much emotions. You know, the first good one that I watched, the first one that I guess that really made me feel was About a Boy, which is why it's my favorite romantic comedy. And nothing has, you know, there's very few that have come, I guess, close enough.
Mm-hmm.
And it's the same with anime. You know, there are very few anime that surprise me because I'm so accustomed to the customary anime tropes. This happens. You know, you have a beach episode in between where the characters wear, you know, scantily clad, you know, beach outfits, and this character likes that character, and they end up together, and you know, I'm accustomed to that kind of stuff. So when that doesn't happen, when what I expect doesn't happen, it makes me like it more. And that's what happened with Fakir. I expected him to be you know, a total horrible character, and he turned out to be so different than what you expected him to be. You know, he had this tough outwardly exterior that he showed to other people, a facade if you want to call it that, but he was gentle and kind, and he cared about those that were important to him, and he's willing to give himself up for others even though he's afraid. You know, for those that he cares about, he's willing to give himself up even though he's afraid.
Yeah, I definitely liked his evolution as a character. I mean, that's one thing that I did like about the anime is, like, in the beginning, you know, he was just so, like, mean and nasty, and, like, seeing him, and it wasn't, like, one thing that, like, when I watch anime that I always look for is a gradual growth in character, not just, like, one episode they're mean and the next they're not. Like, I like they take steps and strides before they become nice.
It must be natural. It must be like that is how it's supposed to happen, progressively.
Yeah, you know? And I feel like his growth as a character was very gradual and natural, and that's what I liked most about it.
I like that too. That's what I liked about him. He was natural growth. He was my favorite character. I guess if I had to pick a number 2, it would be Duck, because of the whole relationship he had with Duck, and because like you said, I like Duck when she's in a duck form. She's super adorable. So I guess she's my number 2 character. Her friends are weird, though. The ones
they were so weird. Yeah, I was like, I don't understand.
They're all like, they want bad things to happen to her, but they're like still her friends, and I'm like, you guys are creepy. That's just weird. Really, really weird characters. Start asking each other questions about the anime. So we already know who's our favorite characters are. We already know. I already know that you liked Mr. Cat and I like Fakir. But of the characters, I mean, the story, who were you shipping at the beginning? Like, when you first started watching it, who were you shipping at the beginning, who were you shipping at the middle, and who did you ship at the end?
Well, of course I was shipping, Miyuto and Duck. Of course, I mean, that's like the obvious choice in the beginning. She loves him, he is clueless. That's just like the natural order of things. And then, by the middle, I think, well, so I went and looked at the episode guide, and like I saw where, quote, season 1 ended and season 2 started, and so the beginning of season 2 is, I'll consider, the middle. And I was still shipping them too.
Okay.
And then probably by the end, like after Miyuto decided to go all, the blood of the raven and everything is making me evil, blah 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 blah, I'm gonna be evil for a while. Then I was like, okay, I'm totally on Fakir's side now. And he seems to genuinely appreciate her as a person, I tried to continue with the whole Miyuto thing because it's like, he has no idea what he's doing. He's fighting himself right now because of the raven blood and everything, but couldn't help it,
Why?
Like, he was just mean and nasty, and especially when him and Rue were dancing, and like, didn't he like strike her because she messed up or something?
Yeah,
I was like, whoa, okay, the raven's blood really messing you up.
The raven blood is kind of, I guess you can think of it as like the crack cocaine of the anime, it just totally, it's a drug. This episode should be called Drugs Are Bad.
Drugs. Don't do drugs, kids.
Oh my god. But yeah, it's just the raven blood had him doing the things that he did. It's the same for Rue. The raven's blood had Rue do the same things that she did as well. And so, like, where with that, yeah, it does have that kind of feeling to him. And for me personally, I didn't actually, I stopped liking, like, I stopped at the beginning, like you said, like, I agree, I shipped Doc and Mewtwo at the beginning. The whole clueless love thing I was up for it. I was like, this is going to be another cliche anime. Clueless love, blah, blah, blah. I'm just going to go on the podcast and say, don't watch it. And it was when Doc turned back into Doc, and there was that moment with Fakir and he was nice to her, I started shipping them. Like, I instantly started shipping them. I was just like, I want this to happen. Screw Mewtwo. He has no emotion. He's crap.
Okay,
you should totally just go through.
Can I be honest for a second? Every time you say his name, it sounds like you're saying Mewtwo, like the Pokemon, and it makes me laugh.
I actually, to be honest, when I was watching it and they said his name, I was thinking to do this in the episode. I was thinking to go to put it in the episode and say, who's that Pokemon? And then have us say Mewtwo because his name is Mewtwo.
Oh, that's so funny.
I was thinking about that when I was watching it. I was like, this would be a nice bit to add in. Who knows? Maybe I'll edit it when I'm editing if I have the time. But not sure how much time I'll have. But if I have the time, I'll see if I can get the audio bit that says who's that Pokemon and maybe edit it in to say it. But yeah, I don't know. It's a possibility. Let's say that. But yeah, he's a character I stopped liking early at the beginning of it. I didn't like him as much, and I liked Fakir. When Fakir was nice to Doc, I was like, these two need to be together. And I like when people are genuinely nice to other people. He didn't know who she was, because as far as he was concerned, she was just another girl going after Mewtwo. But when he met her under different circumstances where he doesn't know her agendas, he just meets her. And he's just open to her. And I think it's a lot of times people in real life are more open with pets and inanimate objects than they are with other people. Because the thing is that you have a pet that's not going to judge you, at least as far as you know. You can tell your pet anything. You can say, oh my god, I so love this girl, and she's clueless that I love her, and I don't know what to do, and all these sorts of things. And you can say all this to your pet, because your pet's not going to tell her, one, and your pet's not going to judge you, two, it's just going to sit there in your lap and like you. And then you have the after that, when you're around said girl, you're kind of like, oh, I'm not going to tell her that, you know, she's probably not going to like me, and then we're not going to be able to be friends, so like, yeah, I'm just going to keep this to myself. And that's what I kind of got with Fakir. He was able to be genuine with Duck as a Duck, and when he was around everyone else, he couldn't. He had to show that tough exterior, that he was this tough knight who protected his prince, because that's the exterior he had to show. He had to show that to make sure that make sure that Mewtwo was safe. At least from his understanding, that's how he was going to keep him safe.
Mm-hmm.
And I like that. I really, really like that dynamic. I like that, you know, he was so genuine with Duck. And as he found out that she was her, that he found out the Duck was Duck, the whole way he started treating her changed. Like, he knew she was Duck now, and it happened slowly, progressively, but he started treating her differently. You know, he was different with her. It was just so nice, and he cared about her. Like, at the end, I don't know if you may not have seen this one because you didn't see the end, but there's a part in it where they're fighting the Raven, and he's writing, each of them are doing what they can do. He's writing the story, the prince is fighting the Raven. You know, Duck has given the prince his last heart shard, which happens to be the pendant that Duck wears. Mm-hmm. And so she turns back into a duck, and so she can't talk. All she can do is quack. And Rue has been taken by the Raven, and the prince is fighting for Rue. He's already decided, I choose Rue as my princess, and he's gonna fight for Rue as his princess. And the Raven is fighting him, but he can't reach the Raven because the Raven has turned everyone in the town into ravens, and he's using them as basically a shield, because the prince isn't gonna cut them down because they're still human, just turned into ravens.
Mm-hmm.
And so the prince is unable to fight. He's just there being pecked at, and Duck she starts dancing. She's a duck, but she does the whole ballet pose and everything as a duck, and she starts dancing to kind of portray her feelings through dance. And she starts dancing and she does the whole, you know, gesture where she's like, come dance with me, that she did when she was Princess Tutu. So she's like, come dance with me, and all the ravens look at her, and they come closer, and she starts dancing, and then they start pecking at her and throwing her around, and she keeps getting up, she keeps getting damaged and hurt, and keeps getting back up. And Fakir starts writing more and more and more about how he can save Duck, and he's trying to save her. He's writing, but then he's like, they're hurting Duck, and he tries to get up. He tries to go save her, and the other guy who's there from the library, he's telling him, no, don't go. You have to finish the story, and you're the only one who can do that. And so he's fighting his emotions to go to save Duck and to write the story. And you can see that turmoil building up in him, the whole fighting of emotions as to, you know, I want to save Duck, but I really, 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 you know, have to finish the story. I have my duty to the town, or to save everyone, and that kind of stuff. And it's touching. I really did. Mm-hmm. I have to say, I emoted in that particular moment. I felt emotions. I didn't cry or anything, but I did feel like, you know, my eyes were welling up, and I was like, I feel this. You know, it felt something in my stomach, that gripe of feeling. And I think there's one part of it where he's writing, and the main writer tries to take over or something like that, and he stabs himself in the hand with a pen. Mm-hmm. I don't know if you saw that part.
No, I didn't see that part.
He stabs himself in the hand with his pen so that they can't write the story where Duck gets hurt, because he's all he's trying to do is protect Duck. Because at the end of it, he's not really trying to protect Mewtwo anymore. He's more about trying to make sure that he protects Duck. And that's when I'm just like, oh, it's so beautiful. This is what I wanted. I wanted Mewtwo to pick Rue. I wanted him to pick Duck. And that's what happened. That's how it went. And at that point in time, I was just like, oh my god, you have to save Duck. And Duck's getting hurt, and it's... wow. There's just so much there. It's just... I love the ending for this anime, and I have to say it's the redeeming feature of this anime. Are you okay, Kiki?
Yep, just the cough. Just the laryngitis kicking in. That's all. Sorry.
Okay, but yeah, that's the redeeming factor of this anime. As Kiki said, as you said, Kiki, about the dancing, I didn't care too much for it. I found it was over the top at times. I know why the dancing was there. Like, I understand why the writer put it there. It was a way to express your feelings without having to actually say it verbally. But I'm not a fan of ballet. I've never really watched ballet, and other than that, I think it would have probably been better if there were like multiple different dances in it. Like maybe each different types of dancing went on, and I may have thought like, okay, each person can express their way of dance differently. But everyone did ballet in it. It was literally everyone, you know. And for me, I was like, no, I don't feel it, you know, I just don't feel the ballet all the time. So that didn't resonate with me, but the ending of it, it solidified it for me as a good romantic anime. And, you know, if it's something that I had to recommend to listeners, I would say you can watch it. I wouldn't say you should. I'll say you can.
Yeah, I mean, like, I don't want you guys to think that I'm just, you know, a really tough critic, because there are a lot of redeeming qualities about it. It is fun to watch, and the concept is seriously one of the most unique ideas I've, you know, because like you said, a lot of anime, like when you go into it, you think, oh wow, this is just your cliche, like, one person loves another, they have no idea, blah blah blah, let's see how it ends. But this one actually kind of surprises you, and it doesn't follow that cliche. And so sorry, I wish I like was talking more, but my throat hurts so bad and I don't really have a voice, so
which is true.
So thank you, Q, for having a lot to say today, because
I'm sorry. I know if you had your voice, trust me, I would have kept to my usual sort of, you know, give you a chance to say something, you know.
Q's helping me out today because it's been quite a weekend and I don't have a voice and it's just awful. So.
Oh wow,
but
it's okay. That's what we do. We're co-hosts. We co-host together. We're supposed to look out for each other. That's kind of how it works. We look out for each other all the time, even when we're not podcasting.
If you guys are curious, though, I do, because I told Q I was rewatching the episodes. I will be watching them tonight. Like, I will be making sure I catch the ending because I wanted to see the ending. So
catch the ending. Now, here's what I'll do. I was about to spoil the ending before the end of it. But because even though I'm saying Fakir, the whole thing about I liked the ending and it was a surprise and everything, watch the ending. It's not the kind of ending you'd expect. Trust me on that one. It's not super sweet. It's not. It does have its moment, but there's one scene that happens at the exact end that I guess emphasizes what this anime is about, and it's just I don't know what to say about it. I sat there and I watched and I was just like, wow. So that's how they ended.
So I'm guessing Fakir doesn't win the girl at the end.
No, that's the thing. I can't say that. I can't say if she won the girl or not.
You won't spoil it for me.
You have to see it. You have to see what happens at the end. I can say that the prince does get his princess. I can't say that much. The prince gets his princess, and the raven is defeated. Like, those two things are a fact. Those two things happen. The raven is defeated. The prince gets his princess. That happens. Happy ending for that and all that kind of stuff. The thing is that the rest of there are more loopholes that need to be tied up with other characters, and so when you see those tied up, you're like, oh, okay, this is interesting. Because you will see quite a few loopholes, even for Mr. Cat, actually. Oh, but yeah, you will see some stuff tied up, and it will make sense, or it may not make sense. I don't know how you'll take it. For me, it was interesting. That's the best way to put it. It's interesting. When you can't say something good or something bad about something, you say it's interesting.
Well, then that, because if Q can't say it was a good or a bad ending, then I definitely have to watch it.
Yeah, it's interesting. That's the best way to put it. So, yeah, and it's the last episode, and the thing which is with watching these anime, is that, as I say, I kind of, like, when I'm watching, I'm kind of like, oh, I gotta watch this for the listeners. I always feel bad when I don't know what's going on. And I'm just kind of like, oh my god, I don't know what's going on. And so I'm like, I gotta watch this for listeners. So like when I was watching it, I was just like, power through, Q, you can do this. Like I kid you not, my little sister came into my room and she was like, you're watching this anime? And she's like, ugh. She's
Just ugh. So the same reaction that oh my god. So like Zach doesn't like romance. Ugh.
It's not I don't know if my little sister likes romance, because I think she does. She does watch a lot of Korean dramas and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
But the thing is that my little sister she likes anime because I got her into anime, which is something I'm really proud of. The thing is that she's watched more anime than I have. But the thing is that, like you, if she starts watching something that she doesn't like, she's just out of it. She's just like, I'm just not sticking this out. And so she's seen that anime before, because there were times when we were younger and I'd be buying anime and stuff like that back when we used to buy them in DVDs. And she'd bring home a ton of anime. Like sometimes she just asked me for money to buy anime. Or I'd be out and I'd pick up something that I think she'd like to watch. And so she had like this really huge anime collection. I don't know if she still has it. And she'd watch more anime than me. She'd get anime from her friends, and every time I'd walk out and I'd see her watching something, and I'd be like, oh, okay, that's interesting. And I guess this is one of those that she watched, because most of the time when I'm watching something, she's like, oh, I've seen that already. And I always feel bad. I'm like, oh my god, I got you into anime, and every time I'm watching something, you've seen it already. And it's just like, just come on. One of these days, just say you haven't. And so yeah, she saw this one already, and she scorned it. She was just like, ugh,
Ugh. I like that. Ugh.
I can't watch this. She walks back out of the room. I was like, oh man. So you can take that as you will, listeners. My little sister didn't like it, and I didn't like it at first, but I came around as I found something to care about, which was Fakir and Duck. And I guess that's what makes you stick around with a lot of stuff, is when you find something to care about. When you find that one thing that makes you care, you stick with something.
Yeah.
It's kind of like a relationship. You're in a relationship with someone, and maybe you're just dating or whatever have you. But then you find out one thing about that person that makes you care so much, and then you decide to stick around. You're just like, I'm not going to leave this person because this one characteristic makes me care so much that even if I wanted to, I can't, and that's what it was for me. That was one characteristic in it, in the anime, that I just couldn't give it up, even if I wanted to. I just couldn't. I had to see how it played off. I wanted to see what happened between Duck and Fakir, and I did see what happened.
Yeah, I mean, like I said, there's a lot of redeeming qualities about it, and it's definitely worth, at least trying. I mean, I would never tell someone not to give it a try,
Mm-hmm. If you can stomach it for that.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not gonna lie, guys. The first few episodes, you're gonna be like, WTF am I watching? But, I mean, I honestly, probably by, episode 6 or 7, there were a lot of cool things. I was like, oh, cool, alright, that's cool, that's cute. And then I was kind of into it. And then there were others in that, episode 6 and 7, I'm like, sweet. And then 8 and 9, I'm like, what? And I don't mean those exact episodes, I'm just using that as an example, but that's kind of how this anime plays out. There's 2 episodes, you're just hooked into it, and then the next 2, you're watching YouTube videos on your phone. So.
Oh my god, it does have those what the frack moments where why is this happening? Oh wow.
Or you have those moments where you're like, why am I watching this?
For me, it was those episodes when they were collecting the heart fragments, and there were just some characters that I just did not care for, that they had to collect heart fragments from. I was just like, why do they have, the one with the sort of anteater girl. I was like, what the frack is going on here? She's an anteater. It's weird, and she's, I don't know, mate. I was just like, this is not working for me. I was like, this is not working for me at all. And
Q, I really like your noises. I don't know why, but they just make me so happy.
I'm happy that my noises make you happy. I'm not gonna do it now because you've made it apparent. Like when you point something out about me, it's just like I can't do it anymore. It's just it makes it like I do it and I feel like laughing. It makes it funny for me, and so I'm not doing that anymore. I'm sorry.
Aw, but why?
It would have to happen involuntarily. Like I can't know that I'm doing it. Like you know how when you do something and you know you're doing it, like it's not the same as if when you don't know you're doing it.
I suppose.
Yeah, it's like that. You just do something involuntarily, and it just happens, and then it's interesting. When you try to force something, it doesn't work out too well. You understood? And if you the fact that you pointed it out, if I do use it again anytime in this episode, it would actually most likely happen because I thought about it. I said, okay, I'm going to use this now. I don't like that. I like when it's just like. I know I was about to do it there involuntarily, but I'm not doing it. It's
like,
that's not what it sounds like.
I can't even lie. When I listened to our last week's episode, and we got to the part where first I was cussing you out, and then we were talking about Zach, I lost it. I was laughing so hard. My mom and I are laying on the deck, like just laying in the sun, and I'm just busting out laughing. And she's like, "What is so funny?" And I'm like, nothing. Because
you drank too much.
You're just like talking about Zach, and you're just like ugh, and I'm like ah, and then it goes right to the part where I start cussing you out, and oh my god, like the beeps are so funny.
That was a lot of work. You gave me a lot of work to do for that. I actually sat there and I was just like, I was listening to myself saying it in the episode, and I was just like, oh god.
You just did it again.
Okay, but I sat there, I'm just like, I have so much editing to do. I was sitting there editing and just like, just.
You're welcome. Next time it's just gonna be a surprise, so you won't even know. So yeah. You'll just be like sitting there listening. You'll be talking about an anime, and then I'm just gonna start going ham and just like cussing you out, and then you'll have to listen to the entire podcast so you can edit it.
Nope. By the way, I guess I should mention, I think we have a new listener this week. I mean, we probably do have multiple new listeners, but there's one particular new listener that I know of, and this is actually a guy. And it's just a surprise because, mostly there are female listeners to this podcast. And so it was this guy that I met at a convention I interviewed once. And he messaged me last night, actually, and said, because I got up this morning, I saw a message on my phone, and it was like, hey, sorry I took so long to get around to, checking out your stuff and stuff like that. He's like, I've been meaning to... I can't remember the whole message. Basically, he said that he was meaning to check out Hopelessly Animanic, and he subscribed to the page, and he said that he wanted to know how he can get all the episodes and stuff. So I just basically got up this morning and told him how he can get all the episodes and stuff like that. And if he is listening right now, which he did mention that he was going to listen, so if he is listening, you're awesome, dude. And yeah, that's the thing.
Hi, I'm Kiki. I've lost my voice, so I apologize. My lack of craziness on this episode.
You're normally the crazy one.
I'm always the crazy one. I'm always the crazy one. Q's always the innocent, like, stop it, stop abusing me, and I'm just like, shut up, sit down, don't talk. But this week, Q has the upper hand because I have this morning since lost my voice and my throat hurts, so Q got away today. But it won't last long. Next week I'll be back in full force because Q, guess what? Do you know what I'm really excited for next week?
Oh god, no.
You ready for it? Are you ready for it?
I already know what it is. I've already seen what we're gonna watch next week, and I'm kind of like, I don't even know how that's even possible. It's 100+ episodes.
But you remember we said we were going to split it into 2 parts.
We did, but that's like 50 episodes.
Listen, but you know what? Both of us have already watched it. But anyway, guys, so next week we have Inuyasha Part 1. And Inuyasha, and I think this is perfect because it's episode 9 and 10. So this is good, Q. This is good. It's almost like our first big, number. Like, I remember when Twinny and I got to episode 10, it was a big deal because 10's a big deal. That's a big number.
It is.
I mean, that's 10 weeks of recording.
Indeed. It is a big number. When you do get to those big numbers, which I guess we should kind of make a little note for. Oh my God, you're in here.
I am in here. I already moved our thing down.
Here I am trying to come in and do the editing, and you've already got in here already. It's just like,
listen, I may not do a lot of stuff when it comes to. I may just pretty much talk and you do the rest, but I do some stuff. I wrote a document and I can change the document.
Oh yeah, you do. Kiki she keeps up with what we've seen, what we haven't seen, what we will see. She basically manages all of that. So yeah, it's. Right. I came in to try and help out, and she's already done it. So I'm just sitting, just looking at it.
So let me see here. I gotta calculate this out for the lovely listeners. So if they would like to watch along, they can.
I'm pretty sure I don't know who's gonna be able to keep up with Inuyasha, because let's just put it this way: I find it hard to do 26 over the weekend because I have a lot to do.
Cute. So if we were to split it up evenly, according to Kiss Anime, how many episodes there are, that means we have 83 episodes to cover next week.
So Inuyasha has 167 episodes, correct?
But the last 66 to 67 on Kiss Anime is combined into one.
66 and 67 is one episode.
Apparently, according to the thingy.
Okay, so here's what I can guarantee I can do, because I've rated Inuyasha as an 8 on my Animalist account, and it seems that my account says it's on hold. I should just change that to completed. And so I have watched it out. I've literally powered through this one, and I know the ending. I know the beginning. So I'm gonna just basically be honest with you, listeners, and Kiki. This is what I'm going to do for this one. I kid you not. I'm not watching 167 episodes of Inuyasha right now.
No, it's just episodes 1 through 83.
I'm not watching 83 episodes this week. I don't have the time, Kiki.
You always have the time.
Kiki, I am the editor-in-chief of our website, if you do not remember.
Where is the love?
Kiki, do not forget who the editor-in-chief of our website is.
Oh, you're throwing that big name around at me. No,
I never use that one. But the fact of the matter is that I do have stuff to. You can't.
I'm one of the dudes, like, right?
No, you're not. You're not a dude.
Wow.
You were the one who said you couldn't pull it off. Remember when we did episode? I believe it was episode.
Hey, that's just because I like dudes too much.
Well, right, you can't pull it up. You're not a dude. Dudes don't like. Well, yeah, there are dudes.
Man, haven't you ever heard of douchebag Doug?
No, I haven't.
That was my douchebag male gamer persona that I used to do for the Snowflake Twin YouTube.
I remember that. You had the mustache. That was you?
That was me. Douchebag Doug. Yeah, I drew on the mustache and I put the hat on and I did the accent.
Oh my god. I liked that a lot. Why did you ever stop?
Time. But trust me, I have already been talking to Christy about relaunching the Snowflake Twin YouTube channel because I miss it a lot. And now that I have a regular hour job, I have more time to dedicate to videos and stuff. So
can you do the douchebag dog voice? Can you?
I don't know if I can do it right now because
you don't have a mustache.
Okay, hold on, let me get into the zone here. Douchebag Doug. Okay, gotta get into, like, the Jersey. Okay, alright. So, guys, listen. So what you're gonna do is you're gonna head over to the buttonsmashers.com website. And I'm sorry, this is really hurting my throat, but I'm still gonna do it. So you're gonna head on over to the Button Smashers website, and you're gonna click on the motherfucking fucking hopelessly animatic spot, okay? And you're gonna listen to our episodes because that's what you do, okay? That's what you're gonna do. And then what you're gonna do is you're gonna go on Facebook, www.facebook.com/hopelesslyanimatic, and you're gonna listen to that romantic shit that you know your girl's gonna love, okay? So that's what you're gonna do. And while you're at it, tell your bitch to get in the kitchen and make yourself a sandwich. Peace out, broskies. You know, this is not working because my throat hurts too bad. Oh my god, guys, seriously, I did not mean to offend anybody, but oh my goodness, my throat hurts so bad.
You have me sweating.
People tell me I sound like I'm from Jersey.
I was about to say you sound like a Guido from Jersey.
Yeah. So that's kind of how I got my inspiration. Well, no, I totally lied. It just kind of ended up that way because I don't know. But guys, I'm just telling you, me and Christy, who is my twin, we did a segment on our YouTube where we talked about what male gamers say to chick gamers, and we did our hair and makeup. And, oh my goodness, I had so much fun doing it. The one portion is, don't take advice from Fitty Kiki Bam. She don't know what she's talking about. She's a 12-year-old faggot. And, oh my god, it's just...
Oh my god.
I will, guys, I will post...
Post it on our Facebook page.
I will post it.
To see this.
I will post it right now because now I'm thinking about it. I want
to. It's hilarious. It's totally hilarious. I remember the first time I saw that, I couldn't stop laughing. It's like, these are two chicks doing dude voices. Oh, it's so hilarious.
We had
Though guy gamers are not like anything what Kiki said, though. Just saying, I'm a guy gamer, and I'm just saying, I'm a gentleman.
I'm
never
just
done any of those
saying
things.
that, guys, and I am completely being honest. Everything that we talk about in our videos has happened to us. Like, this isn't something that we just make up. Like, these situations have actually happened to us. So yeah, it's comedic, but at the same time,
there's a message.
These are all based off of true events. Like, I'm gonna post both of them. Because there's two videos that I was in, and I'll post Christie's as well. But the two episodes that I personally made, I know happened to me. Like, the one is about messages that I get from male gamers, and I have gotten all of them. Like, I read them from my TV screen. So...
See, this is you see, male gamers, some of you guys are giving us a bad name, you know what I mean? Just seriously, just stop. Some of you guys, when you see a girl or you hear a girl in a chat, just stop. Just like, seriously stop. Because I know you're about to do something stupid. Just stop, think about it, and don't do it. Like, just don't. I mean, it's like, don't. I can't count the amount of times I mean, I would not lie. When you're a teenager, you're like, oh my god, girl gamer. But then as you get older, it's not really. No, sorry. There are girl gamers everywhere, and they play just the same as everyone else. It's just not a thing. You just kind of just say, hey, a girl's playing with us, cool, whatever, you know, and that's it. Plus, there are a ton of girl gamers who I know who kick my ass in a ton of games, so you kind of have to be very humble. So, yeah, you guys need to, like, chill. All you do to be sending my co-host messages.
Yeah. Well, luckily, thanks to that handy-dandy thing that PlayStation took from Microsoft, and yes, I'm saying that they took this from Microsoft, the party chat option, which has limited the amount of interaction I get with, like, public domain of male gamers. So it you know,
it means you can only talk with your friends, basically, and not any outside people. Which is good. I think that's better, because I really don't like when I'm playing a game and some random person comes in and says something stupid, and it just throws you off your game. It just sometimes it spoils your day. It really does spoil your day when people have stupid things to say on the internet. And it's just this doesn't just have to do with games. It just has to do with people on the internet. People say stupid things all the time, like really, really stupid things. I can remember there was the one time when I realized that people on the internet were just idiots, stupid idiots, and I don't mean everyone. I just mean there are a lot of them out there. And it was a situation I had on YouTube actually, and it showed me two things. It showed me that people are idiots, and that there are so many people out there who are not idiots. And this one is, I'm not a girl gamer, I'm a dude, so
Clearly.
This didn't happen to me like a girl gamer situation with dudes hitting on me or anything like that. Though, strange enough, I've actually had dudes hit on me before, and to be honest, Kiki, don't. I'll tell you this after the show. But yeah, it was a, you know, it had to do with a racist statement I got on YouTube. And for those of you who don't know, I'm black. So for those of you listeners who don't know it, I'm actually black. I don't know. I don't know if you can hear it in my voice. My blackness does seep out somehow. It just you hear the blackness in me. It's just like he's black, totally. But yeah, I am. You know, and to be honest, I don't really like the statement of. Why are you laughing?
Like, sorry, it just seeps out of me. I'm like, what? What does that even mean? Okay, go ahead. Sorry.
It's just an air to it. But the thing is that I don't really relate to the word when people say, "Oh, I'm black." Like I say it too, but I like to think when you really look at your skin complexion, like I'm brown. So, you know, more or less, I'm brown. But either way, it doesn't matter. That's just me being a total, you know, trying to make sure everything's specific, and it doesn't need to be. So the thing is that I made a comment on a song that I really liked. And I said, this is such a beautiful song, because I heard the song in a movie while I was watching. It was a romantic comedy, of course. And I went and I found the song, and I started listening to it, and I was like, this song's so beautiful. And someone commented right after me, and he said, which I assume is a him because the profile picture looked like a him. And the person said, it would be so perfect. The only thing is that if only you weren't, and put N-I-G, which is the N-word. And so that was the first time it's the first time, the only time I'd ever experienced racism online, or really, you know, just experienced it. And so I was like, holy crap, like it's real. Because at that point, before then, it had never happened to me. So I was like, this never happens. You know, people talk about these things, but those things happened back in the day when, you know, cavemen roamed the earth or something. But then it happened to me, and I was like, holy crap, these people exist. And I'm the kind of person, if someone says something to me that I don't like, that's offensive to me, it takes two people to start to do an argument, and so I just don't interact. The conversation ends there. I don't care. You can say what you want. I'm gone. I'm done with this. And so when the comment was made, I left it alone, and I just went back to what I was doing. I was like, well, whatever. You know, I felt it. I was like, holy crap, there are people like this out there, and I was like, I'm not going to waste my time with this. And I kept getting notifications about it after. Like, I just kept getting notifications from YouTube, and I was like, I don't really get that much YouTube notifications. So I clicked on it, and I keep seeing people commenting on the same video. And so I'm like, oh, and they're responding to me. So I was like, okay, let me keep reading. And every single person after him bashed the guy. They were like, you're the horrible reason why people say certain things about certain people, and you're the kind of people that what's bad with the world and all these sorts of things. And I was just like, wow, out of such a negative thing, so much nice comments can come out of from where people are actually willing to defend other people online. And I guess it's nice, you know, it's nice when there are people who are willing to defend other people online. So like, I like to think like there's like one or two jerks out there and one or two stupid guys who say bad things to girls online, and then the rest of everyone else is really nice, who's willing to defend each other and be nice people. So yeah, it's all you stupid people, stop duplicating yourselves. Just stop having sex. Just don't make it. Just don't make any more kids.
Just stop procreating.
Yeah, I mean, seriously, because then they make kids and they pass their stupid on into like a virus, like AIDS. You just pass stupid on from one generation to the next, and the stupid keeps going. So you just need to stop the stupid. We already have the cure. It's not you. You just need to stop. So yeah.
Bye, Felicia. And thank you. We should probably
wrap this up. Yes. Oh.
It's been a fun ride, even with
It
my
has
sore throat.
been a fun ride, indeed. I enjoyed it. I have to
Yeah.
say, we got really random at the end there, but I think it needed to be said. So.
Yeah, I mean, sometimes serious talk is needed, but Q, if you would do the honors now.
Okay. As always, guys, thank you for tuning in to Hopelessly Animanic, the podcast. My name is Q. I am your host. One of your hosts, at least. I'm the black one.
And for those of you who don't know, I'm the white one. With tits, by the way, if you didn't know. I'm white with tits. There we go.
Oh, wow, look at that.
Yeah, because that needs to be said. I am not a 12-year-old boy, even though I sound like it right now because I lost my voice. Anyway, Q, please go.
Okay, so, Kiki, this week of Hopelessly Animanic was...
Awkward.
It was...
Romantic.
It was...
Hopelessly Animanic! Woohoo!
I'm never doing that voice again.
That was amazing. And with that, peace out.